If by mistake, for example, this question if we have, and by mistake, if white does bishop to e3, then it is stalemate situation. You know, stalemate is the definition of stalemate. Stalemate means draw if by mistake you block the opponent all these safe squares, and if the king is not on check and he has no legal move, okay, the opponent has no legal move, and if the king is not on check, it's a draw position. Stalemate draw. All right. So it's a draw game.
Okay.
If by mistake white player does here, then king has no escape here because bishop will capture. King cannot go here because rook is there. King cannot go here also. Stalemate draw. Next, if we have this situation, what is draw? How can we do stalemate? How can it be stalemate? If white player by mistake move the knight here, and black king has no safe place to move. Pawn is also blocked, so it cannot move forward. If opponent king has no safe square, it's not on check. Opponent pawn or pieces, they also cannot move. Stalemate draw. How can white player draw the match? If by mistake white does this move, it's a draw match. Because then black king has no space, no safe square to go. Black pawns are blocked. Okay, so to checkmate, you must attack the king. If you're attacking the king and then king has no escape from the check, it's checkmate. And but if you're not attacking the king is not under attack, it has no safe square to move. It's draw game. Okay, we say it's stalemate. Next, look at this example. This knight is pinned. As you can see, this knight cannot move because it will be check on his the king. Pawns are blocked. So by mistake or accidentally, if white moves the rook to b8, it is stalemate. It's draw. Endgame. Next position. Lot of pieces black has, but you can see, look at this. Both pawns are blocked. These two pawns are also blocked. This pawn is pinned by the bishop. This king cannot move here. Pawn. This king cannot move here because white has rook. Okay. Only this rook is movemented. But that means this rook has some movement. It can go somewhere. And by mistake or purposely or whatever, if white does this capture bishop to rook, stalemate draw. Why? Because black king has no safe square to go. And we do not count value, we do not count points. Whether you have a lot of pieces, lot of points, like you can see, white has rook, two bishops, two pawns, but still it's a draw end game. It's a draw end game. Why? Because black king is not on check and black pieces are not able to move. Hope you understand.
Okay.
Let's talk about Enpassant rule. Enpassant rule, okay, in French, in other word, we say on person. So, Enpassant rule is a special move of pawn when the pawn is on fifth rank. Your opponent has just moved the pawn two steps forward. Okay, so this pawn, one, two, three, four, five. This pawn is on the fifth rank. Opponent has just moved the pawn forward. I can do it. I can capture it. Okay, already as you can see, this pawn is on c5 square and this pawn was on d5 square, so we cannot apply and pass it on this pawn because right now black has just moved this pawn two step forward. We can unpass in this pawn only. Now we can capture this okay, this is the sixth rank pawn, so sixth rank pawn cannot unpass in. Only the fifth rank pawn can unpass in the other pawn if your opponent side file pawn goes two steps and it's passing your pawn. So you can see the pawn on c5 and the other pawn is passing. So we have right, we can do n pass and capture. And you know, n pass and capture can only be done in the following move. You cannot do after or later. Like if
In
you
the
do this,
earlier one, in
yeah,
the in the
like
earlier game, there's actually nothing that you can get to that position. There's nothing that you can get this position.
now do you understand n pass and?
Yeah.
So
But actually, this
then you can.
position cannot be made. This position can actually not be made.
I know, but it's created position just to show you, just to make you understand what is en passant. I know possibly we do not get this position normally. So it's created position to learn how to do end passant capture. So if pawn on c5 and this pawn has just moved, we can end passant capture here. We can end passant capture. Hope you understand. And now end passant. You know, black can also end passant if the black pawn, for example, if the black pawn, this pawn is here and we move this pawn from b2 to b4, then black can end passant capture by taking away this pawn diagonally. Black pawns can also end passant, but we are seeing the example with white pawns. So my pawn on e5 and he just moved the pawn 2 steps, I can end passant capture this way. This pawn can capture this way, and this pawn can capture this way. Get it?